So I'm back to shedding this whole double kick thing, and there's a couple of things I've been working on, but one of the exercises that I'm doing is something that I want to give you guys who are also practicing your double kick. You want a cool little versatile type of lick that you could use all kinds of different ways and stuff. I want to show you how I take a lick and how I decide how I'm going to use it in normal playing situations. Now, you've heard me say this before, but I typically don't like to practice anything unless I can use it in a musical situation. So a lot of the exercises that I do, I try to always sort of incorporate the musical aspect so I can work it into my playing whenever I feel like doing. So this is aside from, the drills, the stamina drills and the flexibility drills and the facility drills. That's one thing, but things like this where I'm actually like practicing a drum lick, I like to sort of do it in ways that I can easily just kind of slip it in to my playing. So I'll take something and make it as musical as possible while I'm doing it, which is how I suggest you do a lot of these lick type exercises. So we're going to take one that's a popular one. It's probably the most popular drum lick. For anybody that first got their double kick and they want to start running on it real fast, the most popular hand and foot combination is just your typical right, left, right, left. So right, left, right foot, left foot. You've heard it a million times. So typically that's not a lick that I would ever use on the stage. At this point, I think it's a little cliche and kind of predictable. But I do like the idea of it being super simple to play. So what I end up doing with it, it almost kind of feels like I'm inverting it kind of thing. So that little double that's played with the feet, I kind of move that to the middle. So instead of going right, left, foot, foot, I go left, foot, foot, right, left, foot, foot, right, left. So it's left, left foot, right, left, left foot, right. Now it looks like this, slow. All right, so that is the pattern to play. Make sure you start out slow and just get used to it first. Because if you're not used to actually leading double kick licks on the floor with the left foot, it's gonna feel a little bit weird. The key to making this thing sound nice and strong is making sure that you plant that left foot when you play it. This is one of those licks that you can't be shy about, and you got to muscle this thing out for it to sound cool, all right? So just be confident of the placement of that left note because, again, it's going to feel a little weird if you're not used to actually starting with that left foot. So start out slow, work that thing out, and then what I do is I sort of add the dynamic contrast to it so that it has a little bit of a flow. So I'll go bang, doom, doom, bang, down, doom, doom, bang, down, doom, doom, bang, down, bang, down, doom, doom, down, down, doom, doom, down, down, that kind of thing. So just kind of adds that nice little dynamic. So when you move it around on the drums, it ends up sounding really good. So the next step that I do with this exercise is that I'll sit down on the kit and just try to work out ideas for placement and orchestration. So instead of trying to explain it, let me just sort of give you a peek into how a typical practice session would look when I'm learning a new lick. So that's basically it, man. That's how the magic happens down here. I'll take something simple, I'll add dynamics to it, and then I'll sit down slow and just kind of work out some ideas in my head. And while I'm doing that, I'm sort of figuring out, okay, how do I want to lead into it? What kind of sticking do I want to use to go into it? I'll try to start it on different beats in the bar so that it doesn't always, sound predictable. And I'll just kind of work it into some musical ideas, slow. And then over the next several days, several weeks or whatever, I'll get more confident doing them, pick out the ones that I like to do, and then just start to strengthen those ones. And then I'll just take it to the stage and test them out, see how it works. But that's the whole idea, man. If you're going to exercise with something, make it musical. Think like a musician while you're doing these things so that when you start applying it to music, it's going to end up sounding cool. So check that out, man. Have some fun with it. Don't forget to tell people where you learned it. Like, subscribe. See you next video.